Hello from the Bear Water Utilization Learning Center in Gothenburg, Nebraska. My name is Brett Lynn, a trainee at the site. Temperatures are anticipated to spike across much of the High Plains region in the coming week. With the crop rapidly progressing, this means that irrigation is in the near future for many of our acres. For some growers, the first irrigation pass has already occurred because additional moisture is necessary to prepare an adequate seedbed for planting. For other growers who had adequate moisture at planting, this may be the first time the pivot is crossing their field. If you fall in that latter group, I have a few friendly reminders so we can all have a safe and successful irrigation season this year. Foremost, we want to keep safety at top of mind. Whenever we approach the pivot panel, we want to touch the pivot panel with the back of our hand. That way, if there's a stray electrical current, we quickly can pull away from the panel and not grasp onto it. Once we're at the panel, we want to perform a lockout-tagout procedure. That way, the power source is disconnected for the duration of our inspection. Once the lockout-tagout procedure has been successfully performed, we want to visually inspect the wiring and that all components seem viable within the panel. If anything seems amiss, contact your local service technician to get that addressed immediately. Moving on from the panel, we can begin to check our spans and towers. With both spans and towers, we want to use a top to bottom approach so we have a systematic method in evaluating the various components. Thinking about our spans, we want to start with the goosenecks, from there move to our drops, proceed to our regulators, and last thing we're going to look at is the nozzles themselves. What we're looking for with each component is there are no visible cracks or anything that may hinder performance. If we see any visual deficiencies, we want to either fix or replace that part immediately. Moving on to the towers, there are two critical components we want to look at. The first being the gearboxes. We want to ensure that there's no leaking hydraulic fluid. We also want to make sure that the hydraulic fluid is at a proper level. If everything checks out on the gearbox, we want to move on to the tires. With our visual inspection of the tires, we want to make sure that there are no bulges, cracks, etc. If there are, we want to address that now. The last thing we want is a tire to be blown in the middle of the season when the corn crop is at tassel. It's much easier and much more cost-effective to replace it now. If we take these steps, we can all have a safe and successful irrigation season. I hope you tune in next week for another video from the Gothenburg Learning Center.
Thanks for watching this video from the Gothenburg Water Utilization Learning Center. For more information, please call 308-537-4500.